Hi everyone, welcome to News Dabs for this week. I'm Jimmy Young reporting for the Pro Cannabis Media Group and ProCannabisMedia.com. We look for the most interesting stories from the emerging cannabis industry and share them with you. Now, to be honest, not a lot of good news on that front, and we didn't have to look too hard to find our lead story. Fall River, Massachusetts Mayor J.L. Correa II gets the Stone Bonehead of the Week award, or is it of the year? J.L. Correa II is 27 years old and was arrested for the second time last week for extortion of 4 cannabis companies offering those golden host security agreements in exchange for hundreds of thousands of dollars and a bonus of 12 to 15 pounds of pot. Amazingly, this is the same guy who is facing a federal indictment on fraud and bribery charges from last year. Now, call me crazy, but maybe the 27-year-old mayor of Fall River just might want to rethink his motives and priorities. What this story does expose, however, is the power that local officials and landlords have over anyone who is looking for a place to open a cannabis shop. It also gives more credence to those who believe the Cannabis Control Commission should be given more power to oversee those host agreements. Now, the next big story this week is the continued investigations into the dangers of vaping as the sick toll mounts, with the only link to any of these people that are sick, were they all using vape pens before their lungs got infected with some kind of virus. That, of course, can also turn deadly. The U.S. Center for Disease Control, the CDC, has asked everyone to stop vaping and of all substances before they can investigate further the cause of these mysterious lung diseases. The concern about the medicinal supply and the use of thousands of patients who ingest their medicine that way was enough for a number of Massachusetts medical dispensaries to issue an explanation about what's in the concentrates many of them sell. Sira Naturals, Garden Remedies, Alternative Compassion Services, and others explain that there is nothing but natural full-spectrum cannabinoids in any of their lab-tested concentrates. Even though no single contaminant was found in all these cases of lung disease, there is some concern about the inhalation of vapor and the impact it has on our lungs.
So when you are vaporizing...
So this is our battery, and that's for the
Yep, this is the battery. So imagine a pan of water on a stove.
Okay.
Here's your stove. Mm-hmm. The water, this is the pan of water. So when you heat up the water and it boils and the steam comes up, that's vapor.
Okay.
Very similar concept. So you're vaporizing an oil. So the concern with vaporizing the oil has to do with what is in the oil.
That's actually what's in those little canisters that you were purchasing at dispensaries or wherever you were purchasing your cartridge.
Once again, more research is needed, but continued vaping is a concern for all, no matter what the product. Now, when Massachusetts passed Question 4 in 2016, allowing for the adult use of cannabis for anyone over the age of 21, part of that initiative was the first of its kind in the U.S. It was a law that was set up to give opportunities to those who have been most affected by the failed war on drugs. Now they have banded together and formed a group called Real Action for Cannabis Equity, or RACE. This group will work to ensure equal opportunities for those communities of color who will work to ensure equal opportunities under the law for all. Every adult has an opportunity to check out some free educational and networking events for Boston Cannabis Week. One of those events is on Monday, September 16th, called the Conscious Community. You will get information about education, lab testing, social equity initiative in the Bay State, just one of many pro-cannabis events next week in Boston.
We want to have something for everybody throughout the week. One of our main goals that we've been able to achieve is to make sure that the educational and networking events are free to the public. And then the entertainment events we're keeping the ticket prices low and affordable for people. So we're hoping the entire week is a highlight.
For more details about that event and the rest of the week, check it out on their Facebook page. It all winds up at the Freedom Rally on the Common in Boston on September 21st. That'll do it for News Dabs for this week. Remember, it's a whole new world of weed out there. Use it responsibly. And here are some other events for Boston Cannabis Week next week. News Dabs is a weekly production of the Pro Cannabis Media Group. It is supported by Alternative Compassion Services in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. ACS is a leading provider of medicinal cannabis at 693 Elm Street in Bridgewater.